This is the Bill Squire Show.
Hey everybody, welcome to this week's episode of the Bill Squire Show. I'm Bill Squire. This is Sam, my girlfriend.
I'm not Bill Squire.
No, you're not.
No.
You're not. But you know me pretty well. You know things about me.
I do.
You know me intimately.
Don't say that.
Yeah, well,
Feelings, gross.
yeah, no,
Yeah.
You're not a feelings person.
No.
So we got a really good episode for you this week. We're gonna kick things off right now with an interview I did with my buddy Buckeye City Soul, aka Kevin, and he's a dude that's originally from Lorain area. And sorry about the dog crying in the background. She's just an a-hole today. And he's really into sneakers, and he's kind of been my sneaker shaman to help me kind of understand the culture. I did his YouTube show a few weeks ago. I had a lot of fun, and we just become good friends over our love of sneakers, and we talk about a lot of stuff, but mostly sneakers in this episode, and that's what these sneakers this week are for. So this one over here is his favorite shoe. It's the Air Jordan 4.
Are these like the same but different colors?
Yeah. So he loves the 4s. He loves the bread. That's what these ones are over here. That's his favorite, like, all-time shoe, and he talks about that a little bit. And then the one over here is one that I wore in a picture, and it kind of started our friendship in a weird way, because he commented on the picture. He's like, dude, you got to loosen up those shoes, man. They're a little too tight. And I kind of went back at him. I was like, well, that's the way your mom ties them.
Uh-huh.
And
Cute.
He's like, okay. Like, I was just saying, man. And but we started messaging and became friends. But we started off in a weird way, because he kind of made a joke about my shoes being too tight, and I said that his mom's the one that tied them. So it was a weird way to start the friendship, but I feel like it was good.
Did you loosen up your shoes?
Yes, I did. I did. Yeah, I took his advice.
Good for you.
I actually relaced these ones yesterday just so they could be nice and loose, but also have the laces nice and flat and look good.
Nice and tight.
Yeah. No,
Tight and loose.
just in order. See how in order they are? They're not like messy or anything. And that's important. You don't want messy laces. You probably can't see the definition of it, but they're pretty good. I'm not the best at getting things to be perfect, so.
Because that doesn't exist.
Right. I'm not a perfectionist in a lot of ways. Okay, so here's my interview right now with Kevin. My girl, she's got a potty mouth, and people are reacting to it on Instagram. People are like, "Oh, she swears a lot, huh?" And I'm like, "Well, she was mad about something."
Right. Yeah, I don't blame her, because that picture.
It was bad, man. It was bad. And those things aren't cheap. I don't tell. I mean, she'll probably hear this, but I went and looked at it because I got one of those ads because we were talking about it.
Right.
And I'm like, let's see how much these things cost, and they're not cheap. Like, it's not like you're paying for something. You want quality when you pay for that kind of thing. So
Right.
I get why she was pissed. Like, it was, and it was also like we were in bed, and she was so excited for this because she thought it was going to be such a good present. And then when it went awry, she was really angry. So I get why she was, going off. And also, she's not a broadcaster. She's never done anything like this before. So she's just being herself.
Right.
And sometimes she's going to let loose with some vulgarity. No problem.
Oh, yeah, definitely. I mean, I when we first started doing our podcast, like, I used to let it go. And then someone was like, oh, man, I heard you got a podcast. I was like, oh, yeah, you did? So I try to peel it back a little bit, but
yeah,
it is what it is.
Mine's come like when I'm doing stuff like this, I think more in my radio style.
Right.
So I don't swear as much, but I'm getting more used to this studio and being at home and knowing that I can kind of let loose more. So I'm doing that more. But like when I'm on stage doing stand up, anything goes, really.
Right. But I mean, it's not bad that if you're clean on this, because then you don't want to, kind of automatically get back into your home brain at work, and then.
Oh yeah. It's been 7 years and I still think like that all the time. Like there's so many times where I catch myself and I'm trying not to swear, and I'm trying, because in my day-to-day life, when I'm just shooting the shit with somebody, I swear. And so you use words like shit and fuck is pause words a lot of times when you're just chopping it up with your friends. And so when I'm doing that and it gets into that kind of a mood on the Alan Cox show, it's hard to switch gears sometimes because you just feel like you're just goofing off with your pals.
Right. And I mean, you guys are so close that it'd be easy to flip back into that, just kind of, like you're talking to your buddies and everything. And but hey, man, does Mary have something against your girl or something? She was kind of when she was talking about her butt being on Instagram.
No, they're actually friends. That's how I met them.
Okay.
It's how I met my girlfriend through Instagram and or not through Instagram, through Mary, because they used to work together at the House of Blues.
Okay.
They're buddies. They're not like close friends, but they're good friends.
All right.
So
cool,
if she's ever joking around like that, it's usually just ball busting. It's not any like maybe like a little bit of jealousy because my girl's got a rounder butt than Mary. Mary might be a little jealous of that, but I don't think there's any real animosity between the two of them.
Okay. All right. I was just like, man, because I was listening to yesterday's show today, and then she was talking about like you're talking about the Rite Aid receipt being on there. It's like, man, those things are pretty fucking long. Like how can you even put those in there? Like what makes somebody think that would be comfortable,
right,
to deal with? So
yeah, and it is Mary's also more conservative when it comes to stuff like that. So she doesn't like my girlfriend doesn't care if I put her butt on Instagram. Like she's
right.
Hey, it hasn't been on there for a while, so why don't you pick it up, make sure people know that this is the butt you touch. And so I'm not gonna argue with her. Whereas Mary's, a little more reserved when it comes to stuff like that. So she's like, yeah, it was pretty much her bare butt but it's a butt.
Yeah, I mean, it's like a bathing suit. I mean, it wasn't like it was like she was opened up or anything.
Right, yeah, she wasn't just chilling. We were just
check this out
and giggling and having fun.
I got hazel eyes.
Yeah. Man, so let me set the table real quick. We're going, but this is Buckeye City Soul Kev. He is pretty well known on Instagram for knowing shoes and having a pretty awesome shoe Instagram, sneakers and stuff like that. And then also you do your show on YouTube every Monday, the Monday Midsole, which I was lucky enough to be a guest on. And I know, man, I'm so trying to figure that shit out too. Because if I don't keep hitting the button, it'll so I gotta like have it, and I sometimes just get wrapped up in the conversation, then I just don't hit it. So
sleep mode.
It's the all Bill Squire show, and I think part of like things going off like that are just gonna be a part of the show now.
Yeah. Hey, I mean, when we started doing our show, like I play music in the background, and I have to switch the songs up.
Yeah,
because I don't like it, like the dead. Sometimes the dead silence. It just kind of gets to me. So I like to have like a little music bed, and then, I'll forget. And then I'll realize like it's been, 4 or 5 minutes, and then just breathing in there. So,
so how have you been doing that show? About 3 years, I think.
Yeah, 4 years. Just me and 4 other folks. We started it based on like we're actually just watching another YouTube show, and I mean, people say there's a show talking about sneakers, and I mean it's bigger than you would think it would be if you're not inside of the sneaker world. But there was another show that we all used to kind of sit there and watch, and one of my buddies, his name's One Legged Lister on Instagram, and he's an old vet, and he lost his leg over in Afghanistan, and he's big into shoes. He's like, hey man, we could do this show. And I was like, oh, like, sure, no problem. We can give it a shot. So we did one show. He's like, well, so what are we doing next week? And I'm like, next week, cause I mean, I was kind of nervous to even do it. I mean, honestly, it's tough to get on here and talk, and then you have to talk about shoes. So you're real limited in what you can really
you're
talk
kind of
about.
locked in that way.
Right. You're not going to see
how I feel with Flicks and Bill, where I got to a point where like I'm doing it monthly now. Like I'll do another one in a couple days, but I was like, I don't want to watch any movies anymore because I'm fucking tired of talking about them and stuff like that. So I commend you for being able to do that for 3 years, because it's a long time.
Right. I mean, there's stuff that pops up within the sneaker community. Shoes come out every week. So there's always something to talk about, and then you kind of got to dig for stories to kind of go off and expand and, get everybody's point of view. But I really like that, there's people that do watch the show and we can interact live. So, the chat's going and, they can say something or have a question and then we can kind of go off of that. So they fuel the show just as much as, us being on there.
And yeah, and that was one of the funnest parts in like the games that you kind of play too, where
right,
everybody picks a shoe from a different era. Those are some. It's a fun show. I had a great time being on it. I watched a few episodes here and there too, and it's just like a nice, especially like me being newer to like being a sneaker collector. It's I like to kind of get some of the info so I don't feel like a fraud. I don't want to feel
right. No, man,
I'm like trying to like act like I know all this shit when I really don't. I just like shoes and I'm learning about it.
right.
And I didn't know how deep it goes. And it goes pretty deep. It's pretty cool though.
Oh yeah. There's a lot of different collectors. For me, I'm the type of person that says, just jump in, get in there, enjoy it. You're sharing stories about sneakers or, whatever you like about the shoe. Some people are technical. Some people like aesthetics. And some people like what other people like. And that's fine with me. Where some people, they'll say, oh, you're a hype beast and you're not a purist. And, it's just stupid. I welcome everybody. So,
and even if you're a purist or a hype beast, whatever, then be that.
Right.
Like own it if that's who you are.
Enjoy it.
Yeah, enjoy it. Because like when it comes down to it, I like the shoes. I like the way they look. I like when I like the excitement of trying to get them. Like I got the raffle, like that shit's fun. It's really enjoyable. And I got the hairs and I got the top 3 coming out this week. And
yeah, man, I need some of your luck, man, because I had to call in a favor to get the top 3s. The hairs, I put in a raffle, and I was like, if I get them, then I'll buy them. But if I don't get them, then that's fine too. And I didn't get them, and then I didn't get them on Finish Line because Finish Line had their raffle today. And I think I have one in Foot Locker, but I just called in a favor because I really wanted the 5. So
yeah. And that's one of your, and like, having the favorites, and like, I wasn't a super big fan of 13s until I got a pair. I got the green ones and I wore them and I'm like, holy shit, this is the most comfortable Jordan I've ever put on.
Right.
Like it's so light. I didn't think it was going to be as light as it is. It's like a really light, good shoe to just wear around. I mean, and if you want to play in them, they still have, they compare to modern shoes and they're 20 years old.
Right. Right. Like I played basketball. I'm actually from up near where you are at. I'm in Elyria. I played basketball in the 13s in high school. And that's actually the first shoe that ever had interaction with the law.
Oh yeah.
I had gotten a pair of Cherry 13s and I had a pair of the he got game 13s. Mm-hmm. I took the 13s back and the guy's like, hey, like I'll give you these Cherry 13s, just give me a couple bucks. And because they hadn't come out yet. So I do. And, I had the shoes and I'm, flexing and, this girl at work, I worked at Blimpie's. My dad used to own a sub store. It's kind of like, stuff, right?
Yeah. I remember Blimpie's. I remember the one. I know the exact Blimpie you're talking about.
Yeah, that was his. In
Elyria, yeah.
Yep, that was his. So we, there was a girl that worked there and she worked at that store and she saw that I had them. Well, I guess the guy got busted for selling shoes at the back of the store and just, and the cops called me in from school. So I'm in there and they're like, hey, just show us the shoes. We know everything about it. And da. So I went and showed them the shoes and then they're like, all right, cool. So then like maybe a couple weeks later, I see this guy at the mall, at Midway Mall, and this guy's trying to fight me with his buddy. And then I was like, oh, what's going on? And then some other guy came out. We almost all got into a fight, but a bunch of my buddies from the basketball team came up and then they were like, oh, they got scared. And I was like, well, hold on, let's talk about it. And I guess, the cops had lied to him and, they lied to me. And basically
they turned each other in and stuff.
Right. And, the cops didn't do anything to me because I didn't do anything wrong. I actually traded a pair of shoes that I had because they were defective. Right. And, but I wasn't supposed to get them that early. So, it is what it is. But
did you have to put the shoes up?
No, they let me keep them.
Oh, that's nice.
Yeah, but the thing is, like, I had basically paid for him. It's just, whatever he had going on. If he didn't go through the computer, that really wasn't my problem.
He's the one scamming, yeah.
Right. So it's all good. I think he's not in prison or anything, but it's all good, man. Hopefully, he's good.
Yeah. Right. Well, Hopefully he learned his lesson. He's trained up.
But I learned like if I'm ever on the first 48, just to lawyer.
Lawyer. Yep. Lawyer. Get a lawyer. So you grew up in this area. You played basketball. When did you really start collecting sneakers?
As far as actually collecting, I mean, I'd always gotten shoes. Like my mom had bought me the Jordan 1s when I was a young kid. So 5 or 6 years old, I had the Jordan 1s. And then my parents got divorced when I was in the like 4th grade or something. So I got the Jordan 4s, and that's why the Bred 4s are my favorite shoe of all time. So I had shoes all up until then. But then I went to Bowling Green. So you don't really have anything. You barely have enough money to get food. And and then I had kids. So probably 5 years after college, I was just like, all right, I think the Military Blues came out, and I was like, oh, let me go ahead and get those. And then the Fire Reds were available, so I was like, oh, let me get the Fire Red 4s. And then it just went nuts from there, and I just kept buying. And I had a better job. I was making more money. The kids were taken care of, and I didn't really have anything to do but go out and be single and be dad when I had my kids. So I went and bought a bunch of shoes, and now it's crazy.
Yeah. Well, you've even had like sponsorships and stuff like that.
Right.
So like you've built yourself as you got over 100,000 followers on Instagram. Like you've built yourself up to have a following because what you're doing. You even do some custom stuff that is like pretty impressive. I didn't have the courage to do it. I was going to try and do it.
Man, you know what?
I'm going to do it.
I will put the video out. You know what I did? I reformatted my computer because it was starting to get slow. So I have a gaming computer, and I had so much stuff from the show and trying stuff out and videos that I recorded. So I had to push everything over to external hard drive. And when I did that, it unlinked everything. So I have to go through it, and I had to put everything back for the show yesterday. And then I have to put put another video together for the actual how-to video on those denims. But I'll get it out, but it's not hard, man. You could do it.
I know, it's just scary. It's just one of those things where like I'm not a very I'm not attentive to detail.
I'm not either.
Like I'm messy. Like I'll give it a shot maybe one day, but right now I'm just kind of like I'll wait for your video, and then I'll maybe find like a used pair to try them on, and then go from there.
Yeah, I forgot. Yeah, I mean it's not hard. I'm not a attention to detail person. I get frustrated. So sometimes I'm just like, with the red pair, I just said I'm just gonna dip them all the way in because I don't want to have to worry about taping it up and messing it up. And I actually think that the red ones ended up coming out better. Yeah,
I thought the red ones look great. I thought the red ones look real good. I'm not even worried about that part anymore. Show it is.
Yep.
So how many? You have 3 kids, I believe.
Yeah, three.
So what's a typical Father's Day like for you? Do they go all out? Do they they just kind of like chill and let you do what you want to do, or how do you guys do your Father's Day?
Man, it's like, well, my kids, I have a 2-year-old, I have a 15-year-old, and I have an 18-year-old. So the 15-year-old and 18-year-old, they're kind of like, hey, Dad, happy Father's Day. Here's something that we bought from Santa's Secret Shop. And, they kind of go out and do their own thing. And then, I'll have the baby all day. So, I mean, it won't be anything crazy. I have custody of all of them. So, my older 2 are from a previous relationship. And then my wife and I have the baby. But, I mean, we'll all just be sitting here, hanging out. The 2 older ones will be in their spaces.
Yeah.
And
they do. That's kind of how mine are now. Like I remember when they were a little bit younger, we went to it was Father's Day, and I was just getting home. Like I drove through the night to get home at like 4 or 5 a.m. from a gig on the road, and I was like, I just want to go see the Man of Steel. It had just come out in theaters. I'm like, I want to see Man of Steel. And my daughter was probably 12 or 13 at the time. And she's like, I don't want to see that. Can't I just go see something else? I'm like, it's Father's Day. Can't we all just go see a movie together? Even if you don't want to see it, can you just like one time sacrifice for me? And she's like, okay, fine. And we go in there, and it is sold out. Packed in there, and it is like 85 degrees. And I'm tired because I drove through the night. And so I'm watching this movie and I just keep nodding off and snoring. So every like 15 minutes, I just go, and then the
Yeah.
kids are laughing their ass off because
Like, wake yourself up.
yeah, because I wanted to go see this movie so bad, and then I'm the one that's falling asleep during it, and so that was one of my better Father's Days, even though it was kind of like a little tumultuous. It was just ridiculous, and it was like a good memory for all of us.
Right, right. Yeah. I mean, that's where the most memories come when, something unexpected, something funny. Mine are just kind of monotonous, especially with COVID and everything right now. It's really nothing that you can do. It's like,
Yeah,
oh
yeah.
yeah, we can go out to eat or something like that. No, I mean, we could order Uber Eats or,
Right, yeah.
I'll probably end up grilling. So it'll be me doing stuff, but,
That sounds all right. What do you like to grill?
steaks.
Yeah.
Steaks, man. Fillets only, man. It's just I'd rather spend the money and have a fillet than get a hockey puck or
Yeah. No, I like a fillet. I like a ribeye. Ribeye's my
yeah. Porterhouse isn't bad too.
porterhouse is good too. Porterhouse, T-bone, all that stuff. As long as it's got some fat on it, I like that. But a fillet, I guess, is pretty lean, but it's like a good cut of meat.
Yeah, I mean it just melts in your mouth if you make it right.
Yeah.
I've had some when I first started making them, some disasters where you're just like you're sitting there like I just spent $20 on this piece of meat,
and you're choking down because you paid for it, but you're like, I fucked this up. I'm so mad at myself.
Yeah. Sam's Club sometimes, man, they have some bad ones, but
Yeah. I go to Costco and I'll buy like a 4-pack of the ribeyes, and then I'll freeze 3 of them, make one that night, and then just kind of dole them out over the next couple weeks. But it's I like a good steak, and I like getting on the grill just right is the best.
Right. Yeah, I got to the point where I was watching YouTube videos, and then I had my meat thermometer, and I'm like, all right, this is perfect right now. It's because
Yeah.
I don't want to get sick and stuff like that, and then plus I don't want to overcook it because that's the worst thing you can do. A lot of
I'd rather get
people
sick
say,
than overcook it.
well, they say, well, yeah, you're not gonna get sick overcooking, you're just gonna choke. But
I'd rather get sick than overcook it. Is what I'm
right?
saying.
Yeah.
I get a little bit of the squirts. That's fine.
Yeah.
If it means it didn't get cooked too long. So you've been doing the pod or is it posted as a podcast too, or is it just as the YouTube show?
We started it as a podcast and YouTube, but now it's just YouTube.
Mm-hmm.
I think it's something that we'd like to do, but we're pretty visual.
Mm-hmm.
So it's tough to translate that into making it entertaining, if you're listening to it. I mean, we talk about a decent amount of stuff, but like we also I like the visuals, like I like the visual aid. I'll pop a picture up and we'll talk about the picture.
Yeah, I like doing the visual stuff too, and that's kind of why I've been pushing the YouTube harder than the actual podcast. But
right.
I know I like the option because I listen to a lot of podcasts that also have that visual aspect, and I know that if there's something that I really want to go and see, if I'm driving around, I can go and check it out.
Right. Yeah, I mean, I guess there's that too. And then I mean, also I'm the one that's kind of doing all the production stuff.
Yeah.
So I mean, I work a 8 to 5 as well. So it's tough for me to get there and all right, I gotta do this after the show's over with and then put the show together. And between work and the wife and trying to maintain half of my things, you
gotta have some time to
right
do it all. Yeah, no, I get that for sure, because there's definitely time. Like that's kind of been one of the nice things about the quarantine and everything, is because I haven't had as much stand-up going on.
Right.
I've been able to focus more on I kind of built this studio, and I have the time to do everything that I need to do for this show and the Alan Cox show, because I do a lot of the production for that too.
Right. Yeah, I can tell. I mean, when I listen to the show, and I hear what you're talking about, and then it seems like sometimes a little bit more about what's happening than
There's one thing that is weird about that is Alan and I don't talk about what we're going to talk about before the show. So that just I know what he generally looks up.
Okay.
So there's sometimes where I'm not going to be prepared for it, but there's plenty of times where I know what's going on, and there's 4 or 5 times a week where I'll bring something up that he's already prepared, and then we can just jump into it. And he kind of knows that. So just because we've been working together for so long,
right,
we know how to riff each other in that way. We know how to riff off each other, and just kind of we've got a lot of good chemistry when it comes to that kind of stuff.
Yeah, I mean, you guys all have good chemistry. I mean, I think that like the whole like the whole cast, I think you guys all kind of work together, and then one person jumps up and boom, then there's that interaction, and then Pound Cake will jump in, and then like Mary will jump in, and you guys have a great chemistry, man. That's why one of the reasons why I listen to you guys. And I was listening to other stations, but I listen to you guys for sure. And I mean, it reminds me of home too. I hear Mary talk about Berea. I was like, oh yeah, Berea is. I used to hang out in Berea back in the day when I was in high school. We used to talk to girls. We used to go up to Parma, this place called it was called the Mining Company or the Edge. It was like a dance club for like teenagers. So
man, I never went there, but my ex-girlfriend would talk about going there, and I think Mary's talked about going there, but I never went there. But I definitely know exactly what you're talking about.
Yeah, it was a lot of fun until they started fighting, and then the stage would break, and then the cops would come.
Yeah,
it was
fun.
Yeah, I don't think my parents knew that we went out there because I mean it wasn't like it was right next to Elyria, but
you're a good 35 minutes away or so.
Yeah, and we also used to go to the Cosmopolitan out in Willoughby. And I mean, we were in high school. We drive all the way out there. It's like, East Cleveland or whatever. And I know my parents was like, hey, as long as you're home by 1, like, all right, cool.
Ooh,
I'm about an hour away though.
1-ish. We'll go with 1-ish.
Yeah. No, I was home at 1 because my mom would come out there with the belt and embarrass me.
Oh wow, yeah.
In high school.
That's like my parents. Like I didn't really. I was kind of. I had friends and we wouldn't really go out. We also lived kind of in the country in Medina.
Right.
Like it was more just like hanging out at other people's houses and stuff like that.
Yeah, we used to hang out in Medina too. When we go to the Edge, we would meet all these people from different places and like, oh yeah, come on out, And I played basketball, so I would go to when we didn't have a game, I would go watch these guys play, or we'll go see.
Did you graduate?
98.
98. Okay, so you're a couple years ahead of me. I was in 2000, and Tony Stockman was like the Mr. Basketball that year. So we had a good team that year, and he ended up going to Clemson, and then he transferred to Ohio State, and now he just teaches. He played in Brazil for a while. Like he had a pretty legit career, and now I think he's just coaching. But he was like the player in Ohio at that time, and then LeBron won the next 3 years.
Yeah, LeBron, man, I couldn't imagine playing against him, being in high school and playing against him. Like, we played against one guy that I knew went pro, and we actually played. It was Gundarina at the time. This kid played for Cleveland Heights, and I was guarding him. He would pull up from behind the pro line and just rain.
Do you remember what his name was?
J.R. Bremer.
Oh yeah, I remember J.R. Bremer.
Yeah, J.R. Bremer. He would pull up, and I'm like, come on, man! Like, how do you guard this? I mean, he was fast too, so yeah, I was a good defender, but I mean, he was so fast. I'm like, all right, I got to play off him a little bit. Bam!
Just knock him down.
Yeah, we got destroyed. Like, we played them close in Elyria, but they destroyed us at Gundarina. It was embarrassing, but it was cool that we got to play. On a pro court.
Yeah, that's pretty cool. We played. We did a promo with Kyrie when he was here before. I think the last year was the first year LeBron came back.
Okay,
we got to do it 2 or 3 times, and he was just out there playing with us, and like he was supposed to be like one of the referees or something. But he ended up just jumping in and playing with us, and
that's awesome. Man.
It was pretty cool. Yeah, he was. That was a lot of fun.
Yeah, I know Maul would go nuts. He's a huge Kyrie fan. I mean, like, he probably has as many Kyries as I have Jordans, honestly.
Yeah, because I talked with him a little bit about there's another guy on your show about Kyries, because I got those ones that are like aqua with the leopard print. Right. Because he's like, oh yeah, I got these, and like then he started like showing me. I'm like, oh man, you go with all the Kyries. Yeah, he's got a Kyrie page. Yeah. And I mean, I think he's got like 50,000 people or maybe even more followers on that page. And I mean, it's just Kyrie's. And I mean, he's like Kyrie,
Steph Curry and Kobe fan, and he's got way more than I got. And I mean,
well, Kyrie's are a little more affordable too.
True, but he's also got Jordans too.
Yeah,
he's just showing, he's just kind of showing the Kyries, and I think that Under Armour sends him some shoes here and there too. I mean, he's got some sponsorships.
That's cool
for sure.
That's cool. It's cool that that you can make those kind of connections and get those sponsorships and kind of get those plugs to help bolster your collection and stuff.
Yeah, definitely. I mean, there's a lot of stuff that like I take chances on. Someone says, "Hey, can you pop this on?" And I'll send you a pair of shoes, or they paid too.
Yeah.
But I'm like, yeah, sure. Like I wasn't gonna buy these, but I kind of like them, so no problem. As long as it's a product or a store that's reputable, because there's a lot of scammers.
Yeah, that's kind of something you were hipping me to was beware of the scams that are out there, because I know I saw one and I was like, they're like saying they're real Jordans, but they I'm like, this is not real Jordans. Like, there's no way you can charge $100 for Chicago's.
I don't know.
Yeah, I'm like, this has to be. And I thought I might buy a pair and do a video just to be like, I bought some fake Jordans just to see what they look like. I'm like, I don't want to spend $100 just.
Yeah, $100 is a lot for a lesson, and you might not even get your shoes.
Yeah.
So that's the one thing, and I won't buy anything from anybody that doesn't use PayPal.
Mm-hmm.
So unless I know you, like if I know you, then cool, but for the most part, PayPal is cool. I'll pay the fee or whatever, and I only buy from really stores.
Yeah, that's how I've gone. There's one in Cleveland called Chili Kicks.
Yeah, I saw that you bought some from them. I've been looking at a pair from them, but
I've got a couple pairs from them, and the guy, like, he's got a store here in Lakewood, and he's a nice guy, and so I'll try to support him. And then there's another place I like down in Miami called dailymia.com, and they got some. That's where I got those.
Okay.
And
how much
they were actually like not terrible. They were like $265.
Okay, yeah, that's not bad at all. Like,
because it was like right before
they went
Last Dance.
Yeah,
right, like right before the Last Dance started, and then like 2 weeks later, they're like $450.
Yeah, I'm mad that like I bought 3 pairs and then I offed one of them. Actually, I bought 4 pairs because I bought my son a pair and he was acting like he wanted money. So I was like, all right, and I got rid of 2 pairs. If I would have saved them, I could have made so much money. Like, I should have just kept everything till after the Last Dance, but I was just like, all right, let me get rid of this, and then I can not dip into my own pocket, and I can just kind of reallocate that money towards other shoes that I want. But I mean, there's like I sold a pair of these for like $300, and now they're like $400 or $500 because the off-white ones came out, and then they just blew them up. And I wish I'd have saved those. There's a lot of shoes that I wish that I had doubles that I wish I didn't sell. And then
that's kind of the thing, is like it's cool to sell them, but it's also like knowing when to.
Right.
I feel like I'm the guy that helps raise the price back up. I feel like every time I sell a shoe, the next 5 pairs that sell for $25 more than what I was selling them for.
Right. But sometimes if you're trying to get rid of them, then it really doesn't matter. I mean, I guess there's a cost to, of time, like, especially if it's something that you want to get. Like I like off-white stuff, and I'm not gonna take my money out and spend the money. If I'm gonna get rid of a couple pairs of shoes to get them, then all right, cool. But yeah, I mean, if you don't get an off-white pair, they're $700 easy.
Yeah.
The first couple weeks, and then they blow up. Like, I think these are in the like
almost $2,000 now.
Yeah, so
I think they're close to that.
And then the Chicago,
is that the rarest pair that you have? Do you have the Chicago off-whites?
The rarest pair I have is the Dornbacher 4. I'll show you. Okay. It's the Dornbacher 4 with the Superman. It's probably the rarest, but these might be worth the most. I mean, as far as on the market, but these are hard to get because it's hard to get a real one. They've gotten so good with the fake ones that you really can't tell. So I was able to get a pair of these, and then I have a pair of Ohio State LeBron PEs.
Oh, nice.
that, I mean, they're not worth as much, but they're, to me, I mean, being an Ohio State fan, they're worth a lot.
I've been grabbing LeBron stuff because I think if he wins this year, that's going to bump his.
It might, but there's so many people that hate LeBron. I think LeBron's are going to go up once he retires.
Yeah,
like that's why, like I'm buying up the jerseys, and you know, because it's gonna be kind of like, you know, when Kobe, well, not when Kobe died, like all his stuff went bananas.
Yeah,
but he had a bump in stock when he retired because, you know, people like me were able to appreciate him. I mean, I was a huge Jordan head, and then, you know, once Kobe was like his last game, I was able to appreciate him, and I was like, man, you know, I missed all these years of good basketball because I was defending Jordan so hard, and you know,
you can appreciate what you had right there.
Right.
I know the feeling. All right, man. Well, thank you so much for chatting with me today. We'll check out, follow at Buckeye City Soul on Instagram, and check out his show on YouTube, The Monday Midsole, and that's every Monday at 8 p.m. It's a lot of fun, especially if you're trying to get into sneakers. He's kind of been my shaman, my guru, helping me learn a little bit about the culture.
All right, man. Appreciate you letting me on the show, man, and good luck with the show.
Thanks, man. I appreciate it.
All right, cool. Yep.
All right, peace. And we're back.
Hello.
Yes. What'd you think?
It was great.
It was incredible, right?
I know.
So much fun. And now we're going to go to this week's Instagram hottie. She's a comedian. She's from the Akron area, and she has a story in here that just blew my mind. And it's a short interview, but it's worth checking out. This is Jasmine. Check out Jasmine right now. This week's Alan Cox Show Instagram hottie.
Woo!
So Jasmine,
Yes.
how you doing? Happy birthday, first of all.
I'm good.
Today is your actual birthday, or yesterday was?
Yes, today is, yeah.
Okay. And how old are you now?
23. No one likes you when you're 23, right?
Yes, according to Blink-182, but nobody liked them anyway. That's what they found
I
out.
did.
No, I mean, like, that's... I love Blink-182. You got very defensive. You're like, how fucking dare you?
How dare you? No.
So you're 23, and you are a stand-up comedian?
Yes.
Aspiring? How long have you been doing it now?
Well, so I've been officially doing it for the last year and some change, but I took acting classes, and I did improv in high school and stuff like that. So I've always wanted to do it and been interested in it, but never taken it seriously until recently.
Who were the comedians that got you interested in doing stand-up?
Well, so originally my stepdad's ex-wife, she works at the Funny Stop still, actually. Yeah, she does the bookings. And so when I was a kid, I was obsessed with Robin Williams, and I was he's like, do you have connections to get me an autograph? I was obsessed. And I followed his work in just movies and stuff for a long time, but the first comedian that I really started to enjoy was, unfortunately, Chris D'Elia now. And it's yeah, what's going on sucks, but he's funny. He's
comedy's subjective.
Yeah.
I'll leave it at that for me when it comes to Chris D'Elia. He's not my cup of tea.
I think that
I've
grown to different people now.
Yeah, Chris D'Elia, but everybody's got that one. They get Dan Cook I loved when I was younger, and so I get it. But my tastes have. But I was
changed.
Chappelle was always my guy though. I loved his special back on HBO.
Well, and then also John Mulaney for sure. His comedy is insane.
Now here's that I don't get Mulaney and D'Elia, very different styles.
Very different.
Mulaney is one of the best joke writers, best performers, and Chris D'Elia is Chris D'Elia. So I'm not even talking about the allegations against him. His comedy just does nothing for me.
Yeah, no, I understand where you're coming from. But
Mulaney, I don't want to hate on him either, because I also know that people like him, but also if I'm going to hate on him, it's going to be for the stuff, but I don't have enough information on that. I'm not one of those people that likes to call people out over information that I don't have about them.
Yeah. Well, what really forced me to kind of recognize that I really wanted to do stand-up was when I started watching Angela Johnson.
Okay.
Hers is very clean. She's a powerhouse when it comes to crowd work too. So I really just always enjoyed her. And she's a very nice, down-to-earth person. And then also Kate Quigley. She's from this area, and I really look up to her since I've started to get into it myself. But that's only been the last 2 years. Mm-hmm. So But yeah, those are the females.
Yeah, Mulaney's up there is one of my favorites right now.
He's very good.
Brilliant. We got to see him at Kent, and he is fantastic. So you did theater and improv.
Yeah.
Any other experience performing?
I took a few acting classes. Do you know who
That's
Matthew?
not what I'm talking about.
Well, but still, that to me was like kind of pushed me to realize that I wanted to do something different.
I was trying to lead into your
performance
former career.
So let me tell you how I got into that.
Just tell them exactly what you used to do.
I used to be a stripper.
I like that you'll call it a stripper.
I like the word dancer. I think, or entertainer.
Okay.
Because dancing is like an art to me, and when I did work in the club, like I did a lot of performing on stage.
Yeah.
It wasn't just like making money, shaking ass.
Yeah.
You know, which sometimes it was, but I looked at it as an opportunity to just like feel good about myself and make money doing it.
And how long did you do that for?
I mean, I did it for like 2 years, and then I started bartending and kind of did it like half bartended, half danced, and now I manage, so I don't dance at all anymore.
So you got off the stage and into the office.
Into the office, yeah.
That's good. So how did that all start?
Well, so I was working at this restaurant, and I'm not going to give them credit because I hate them, but I got fired because I basically made a tweet that said there's a lot of people in power positions that like aren't qualified to be in those positions, and I named Donald Trump, and at the time Betsy DeVos had just got into the position she was in, and then I said, and my manager Lauren, and I didn't say anything about where I was working, but I did say her name, Lauren.
Yeah.
So I got a call a couple days after I tweeted that, and I deleted it, and she was like, I heard that you were talking about the company in a like aggressive manner on Twitter. Like, she didn't even see the tweet, but like someone ratted me out because I had some haters, and I still do. But you know, so I was like really tight for money, and I was like, what do I do? I was 19 and broke as hell, and I had, I think, $100 in my bank account, and I was like, I could go buy a pair of stripper heels and a little, like, wear my underwear and go work somewhere in Canton where like I don't really know anybody. And so I started doing that, and then my dad actually owns a strip club, the one that I manage, and he found out about it, and he was like, hey, I know what you're doing. I want you to be safe. So if you're going to do that, I want you to work at my club, if you are okay with that. And I still paid the same fees and did the same work that every other girl did.
No special treatment.
No special treatment. But I felt comfortable there, and it was an opportunity for me to grow into his business, which I think he wants me to do, but like he's realizing that I'm taking comedy more seriously now, and like I am managing and I help him with like everything. But
learning that business acumen is a good thing too.
For sure.
Now, but how does that work when your dad is your boss and you're a stripper?
So
that's pretty wild.
To some people that's like really weird.
Yeah.
But I grew up like divorced parents, you know, he remarried, my mom remarried. I was very, very close with my stepdad when I was young. And my dad was very focused on his work when I was young. So we didn't have like that tight knit relationship. So for me, like as an adult, I kind of looked at him like, I don't know, a cool uncle or like a friend. So when he said that to me, it wasn't like, oh my God, my dad's gonna know that I'm a stripper. It was like, oh my God, my the guy that like had sex with my mom and had me, it doesn't, you know, it just didn't feel as serious as most father-daughter relationships. But no, I think it works for us. The dynamic is good for us because we're both like, very chill people.
Would he be there and you'd be working?
No, he would never come in when I was working.
So there
maybe
were
once or
kind
twice.
of in place,
once or twice, but I would get dressed. I would be like clothed.
And that's what I was like wondering about the dynamic of that, because that seems a little tricky, but it's one of those things where I guess if you just have the communication open, you know what to expect.
Well, he made me. I mean, you know.
Right, it's also one of those things too where when you own a strip club, like a naked girl means nothing to you almost. Like,
yeah, pretty much. I'm so like, every time I see a girl naked, it's just nothing now. I don't feel anything. I'm not like, oh my God, put your pussy away. I'm like, oh my God.
That should be the name of your first album.
What is going on? Put your pussy away?
Oh my God, put your pussy away.
I think so too. Yeah, that would be nice.
So then do you start doing stand-up, and do you come and do it here at the Funny Stuff? Is this the first place you went on stage? Or?
No, the first time I got on stage was actually at the Windsor. It's like a dive bar right down the street from where I work, actually. And my friend Tyler Severns, he was doing stand-up for like the last year, and I was like, hey, like I really want to get into it, but I don't want the pressure of going to a comedy club, because that's kind of a big deal, I think, to me. I wanted to show up and show Pete that I knew what I was doing, and that I had like a good 5 minutes for him. So I did a few bar shows, and then when I did eventually come to the Funny Stop, I was like, why haven't I done this sooner? Like, it was like, what is going on?
I think a lot of people put comedy clubs on a pedestal when the best thing to do is get in there as fast as you can, and then start learning the ropes, because it's a different animal completely too.
Well, before I even got on stage, I actually came to the Funny Stop, and I talked to Chris Harvey and a few other comedians, and there was this one guy, and he was kind of, I want to name him because I really don't remember his name, but like he was just kind of an a-hole about it, and was like, well, do you even have anything funny to say? Like, you know what I mean? Really just being a douche. And it kind of like knocked me down, and that's why I wanted to do the bar show first. So I think that was right for me, though. Like, I'm glad that I did it that way rather than jumping into the comedy club. Right. Because I think when I did show up with something, I gained a little bit of respect, and I was ready.
And if you've only been doing it for a year, then it's also one of those things where it's not like you waited 5 years to do it. Like, you did it still pretty quick. So it's not, you didn't wait too long. Well, thank you so much for sitting down with me. Where can people find you on Instagram?
My Instagram handle is JAZP456. Okay. So I need to change that. I made it when I was like 13. But it works. I don't know. All
right. Well, thank you so much.
Thank you.
So you actually didn't watch the segment, so we're back now. But you want to know what happened?
Tell me everything. Wait.
So she is...
No, don't tell me everything. They just watched it.
Well, they already watched it, so I'm going to tell you just to see what your reaction is. She works... She became a stripper when she was younger.
Love it.
And when her dad found out that she was stripping, he said, well, if you're going to be a stripper, come work at the strip club that I own.
Ooh.
And I was like, what?
Wait, did she know that he owned a strip club?
Yes, and so now she manages his strip club.
Okay.
She doesn't dance anymore, but she was working there, and she talked about it in the interview about how they had like a schedule where if he was going to be there, she wouldn't be dancing that night, kind of thing.
That's weird.
But still weird, right?
That's weird.
It's weird, but I met the guy. Do they seem nice? I don't know.
I'm sure they're nice, but that's weird.
It is weird. It's very weird. But I love that she's so open about it.
I mean, I don't know. I think me and my mom could work at a strip club together, and that wouldn't be weird.
It would be weird for all of us.
It would be weird for everyone except me and my mom.
Yes, exactly. All right, and now our last segment of this week's show is what do you think's going to happen? Which is where I picked out videos that I found on the internet, and I'm going to show them to Sam, and she's kind of got to guess what's going to happen, and then we react to that live. So this is a more video heavy. So if you're listening to the podcast part right now, go over to YouTube and watch this segment because it's a lot of fun to watch us react. So let me get this all fixed up here. You also have a job today, so
what's my
just
job?
Every few minutes hit that down button so that this doesn't go to sleep, because I don't know why, but it goes to sleep and it makes me crazy. So
this is a new remote. This one has Disney Plus on it.
Yeah, well, it's a new TV.
Oh, that's fancy.
All right, let me get this guy over here. I need.
You don't want the Simpsons in the background?
Don't want the Simpsons.
Are you sure?
I don't.
You were gonna hang up that awful picture.
I'm still going to.
No.
Still going to.
Kevin hasn't gotten back to me. I'm mad. Still mad.
Yeah, so if you listen to last week's episode, you know she got me that Simpsons picture, and it didn't turn out the way she wanted, and she's mad about it. All right.
I'm less mad than last week.
Okay, so here's the picture here's this video. So it's a pig in a man's hand. What do you think is going to happen?
That hand is very close to the pig's butt.
Okay, so
the pig is eating. What do I think is going to happen? I don't know. What do I want to happen? I want this pig to have explosive diarrhea on this guy's hand.
All right, let's see what happens.
This is the pig's tail. Notice how it curls in a curly fashion.
Curly fashion?
Now, the magic finger.
Oh, no.
That one, the magic finger. Start here at the back and move downwards in a gentle fashion.
Oh, that's cool.
Now notice how the tail is straight. This is the straight tail. That's the end of the workshop.
That's the end of the workshop. But why does the tail need to be straight? What's wrong with this curly tail?
I don't know, but it's something that he knows how to do, and I appreciate it, and I just thought it was real cute and funny. And I thought with the last, 2 hours that you've had where you're freaking out over our dog.
I wasn't freaking out. She's being
a jerk. But she is being a jerk. And I just wanted to give you videos today that aren't really going to upset you, that are going to make you, put you in a better mood.
Aww.
So that's
Aren't you just so sweet?
I try my best. All right. So we got our next video here.
Oh, that means all my guesses have to be lighthearted.
Nope. Maybe I'm trying to throw you off.
Now you're lying to me.
We'll see.
Okay.
I need.
This guy, a fireman.
Yes. How to go full screen? I can't go full screen with this one. Well, that's annoying. Oh, there it is. Enter full screen. Wait, come here. I need a producer to do all this stuff for me. All right, so I got this guy.
I can only click one button. Don't ask me.
Now what?
So this is a fireman?
This is a fireman.
What?
Yes.
And he's got a rope in his hand?
Yes.
What's this other thing?
It's a bar. I don't know if this one even has sound, but what do you think's gonna happen?
I have no idea.
You have to guess.
I'm
Take a dark guess. If you want to go dark, go dark.
no. Maybe he's really strong and he's gonna lift up this fucking fire truck.
All right. Let's see what happens.
Oh, that's the first time I swore this week.
Oh, yay.
Cute. What is with this weird music?
I don't know.
Is he about to tie a knot real fast? Nice job, bro.
So, yeah, it's a pretty simple one, but I like it because it's...
You like things,
I like things
being
like that.
wrapped around things.
Yeah. Yeah, but I like... I just like when people do cool things like that, and that's just like a cool little rope trick, and I enjoy it.
Are you going to try?
Maybe.
You should try it.
Yeah, I'll try and learn that. That would be fun.
Mm-hmm. Do it with a shoelace.
There you go. That would be... I probably need something a little heftier than that.
2 shoelaces.
2 shoelaces. All right, so next...
Is this... I can't wait for this. What's this?
All right, we're going to go... She's last.
Oh, God.
This one's first.
Granny's last?
Yeah, Granny's last. This one is... What do you think's going to happen
Are there spiders
here?
in that tank?
No. Look at it a little closer.
No.
Look at it a little closer. If you can... I'll tell you what's in it. It's a snake.
Okay.
So you're better with snakes than you are with spiders.
Is she going to wrap the snake around the tree like the guy did with the rope?
That's a great guess. Let's see what happens. All right, she's opening the cage. The snake is ready to get out.
Oh,
the
look
snake
at him,
is out.
little buddy.
And then bam! Out!
Need a hand?
Whoopsie does that to me.
And the snake bites onto her and starts wrapping around her
Should I continue?
aggressively.
That is one hungry motherfucker.
That snake is not happy.
What kind of snake is that? Did they tell you?
I don't think so.
Is it a python?
But
Because it's big. It's a big buddy.
This video stresses me out.
Oh, you're playing things to make me feel better, and you're just
I
putting
know,
a
but this one
stressful one in there.
I had to put one stressful one. I couldn't make them all great that way. But yeah, look at that. Ooh, and it gets around it now. And they're trying to stop
yeah.
it. And now it's up around her neck, and
It's not around her neck. It's like
not
on her shoulder.
It's on her shoulder, but it's going to try and get around her neck.
Because it's going to try to eat her.
I need you to unwrap her from my shoulder.
Yeah, we know.
Okay.
Oh man, that's terrifying. I'm not a snake guy.
Okay, so you don't like snakes, and I don't like
I'm not-
spiders.
I'm not scared of snakes, but I wouldn't.
Are you scared of that snake?
I'm scared of that snake because that snake obviously doesn't want to be fucked with.
It's probably hungry.
Yeah, that's probably what it comes down to. But I don't.
We can feed it Whoopsie.
No,
Come on.
I like my dog too much. All right, and now we are down to the final video.
What's up, Granny?
Yes. All right. So, what do you think is going to happen in this one with this grandma?
Does she throw her dentures at some kids that are playing on her lawn?
That's a good guess. Let's watch.
Hey, guess who just came by here?
Who?
Some guy. Hey, I didn't know him. He said, if you show me your boobs, I'll give you a bottle of wine.
What? Who?
Did she?
did that?
Oh, I'm so excited.
He was just coming by.
Oh my God.
And he said that.
So what happened? Did you call the police?
No,
What'd you do?
he went that way.
She points and goes, he went that way, and uses a bottle of wine to point. And then
That's
she's got the
great.
biggest shit-eating grin on her face. I love her so much.
Oh my gosh. Is
isn't
that me as a grandma?
Probably. Are you going to be a grandma?
No.
So maybe use an old lady.
Okay.
Yeah. So that's it.
I just like calling all old ladies grandmas.
Okay. That's fair. So that's this week's episode. Thank you guys all for listening and watching. See, that was pretty painless, right? That was
Pretty
a good one.
painless. I like this granny a lot.
Yeah, she's fun. So make sure you like, subscribe, share. If you're listening on iTunes, please give me a 5-star rating. I'd appreciate that. If you want to write a review, that's cool. And then on YouTube, make sure you subscribe. We're almost at 200 subscribers, trying to get to 1,000 because that's a nice a nice milestone to get, because then you can start monetizing it, and we'll make $1 an episode or so. We'll see what happens. But thank you guys so much, and we'll be back next week.
Bye.
And then the week after that, we're gonna do a vacation episode. Whew, that's gonna be fun.
It's going to be way fun.